It's rare when it happens, but it does happen when a podcast comes along that changes lives, that opens eyes, and genuinely does it to enlighten, inspire, and empower. That is what we're here to do. Welcome to Eavesdrop, the podcast where we invite you to eavesdrop on unscripted, candid conversations that'll hopefully change your life. Everyone is invited to the table, regardless of your beliefs or background. We're here to discuss real-life issues that pertain to all of us, whether you're God's favorite girl or guy, or simply someone looking for insights into life's challenges and triumphs. Speaking of God's favorite girl, Eavesdrop is proudly powered by GFG Evolution, a company that's all about guiding you towards your evolution. Our aim is simple, to help you find your solution through growth and evolution. We won't force our beliefs on anyone. We're here to foster community and spark evolution. We'll be joined by remarkable guests who share their personal experiences and stories. And as you eavesdrop on these conversations, you'll find nuggets of wisdom that can help you on your own journey of growth and self-discovery. This is Eavesdrop. Let's explore the reality of life together. And now your host, God's favorite girl, Olayinka Lockhart.
Hi friends, welcome back to Eavesdrop, where our signature series, Faith Talks, goes to another level and faith gets real. Every week, as you know, we invite you, or almost every week, we invite you to eavesdrop on honest, powerful conversations with real people sharing how their faith showed up in real life. You know, faith gets real. From the unexpected miracles to the silent battles, these stories will stretch your spirit, stir your soul, and help you build your faith one testimony at a time. This is Faith Talks, Faith in Real Life. Our episode today is sponsored by Fly Sunshine Travel, where the Fly Sunshine Diva herself, Queen Diva herself, Orly Smith, wants to take you on your dream destination. And I heard that they're headed down to Germany. I don't know if it's down or up, but down or up to Germany this September. And then next year, she's planning something for Dubai. Hey. Then we have Premier Party Rentals, where Miss Stephanie Dawkins, excuse me, can provide all of your rental needs, including the Chivari chairs, including the sunglass tents. You need to call her and check it out. It's 427-0169. Then we can't forget our friends there at Star Apple nonprofit organization, where they are their sister's keeper, and they give us what we need so that we could do what God told us to do. And we have some more sponsors here. Oh, we can't forget the CPA, Stacy Dean with Wealth Evolution. She wants your finances to evolve. Give her a call, and she can help with all of those financial planning needs and financials that the banks and different corporate entities require. Lockhart Realty Bahamas, the heart of real estate unlocked. Give us a call, 357-4722. All right, guys. So that's all of our sponsors for today. And when we level up, everything around you levels up. Everything connected to you levels up. So if you're new here, go ahead, please like, subscribe, and follow us on your favorite social media platform. Please share this episode, and we are sure that someone today will hear something to help them evolve. All right, we're going to jump in. So today's guest is someone I'm excited for you to hear from. And she is no real guest. She's kind of at home. You know, these old GFGs, OG GFGs, original GFGs, they're always there when you need them. And I called her at, I think, 5 o'clock. And I said, Mike, come talk to me on eavesdrop. Let's talk. Because honestly, now, I was coming to talk to you about myself. And I said, Mike, come, let's talk on eavesdrop. And she said, well, what we can talk about? I said, you asking what we can talk about? What you mean what we're not supposed to talk about? Because we can talk about every day. Like we always talking. We don't never run out of conversation. And so she said, okay, let's give it a shot. And so it's so nice to have people that you could just call in at a drop of a dime. Man, listen, my circle is so filled with women like that. I could just call them at the drop of a dime. The other, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, Shay called me and she say, well, what's up with eavesdrop in Bible Crave? And I said, well, Shay, I need someone to talk to. She said, well, then let's talk. Just like that. I want to say maybe it was 25 minutes to the time. I don't know. But you have to be surrounded with those type of people who want to push you further. Now, of course, when you withdraw, you got a deposit too. So when God gives you those kind of friends, just know it ain't one-sided. You got a deposit in order to withdraw. And so I am so grateful for friends like that. So I'm going to welcome to the stage Miss Stacy.
Hi.
Hi, sister.
Hey, Cece. What you saying?
I'm saying I'm all the way up. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up.
Like Rosa said, I'm saying everything.
Good evening to our viewers. So we have some viewers out there that saying hi. Arlie said to say hello. Shay said hello, everyone. Boy, them 2 days so faithful, man. They name was
I mean, all we need is Maddie next.
I swear, well, you know, she can pop up at some point. Boy, that's your people.
Yeah, thank God for them. Hi, Shay. Hi, Arlie.
So, of course, we're continuing in that vein of faith talks. Mm-hmm. And I know for certain, me and you could sit down all day and talk with faith.
All day.
And what God do. And God done it again and on and on and on and on. Mm-hmm. So, what you saying? I in our little powwow before the call, you say, well, I want to interview you. Well, interview me. Let me see what you got for me.
I need to interview you. So, Miss Lockhart, how are you doing today?
Let's see. I'm doing spectacular. God's so faithful, boy. Let me tell you, God, when I say God faithful, like he keeps on showing up all the time. I have a new name for him. He is Jehovah done it again. That's who he is. There's this song out that I think, I can't remember his name. This man singing, he call him Jehovah Nicotine. Well, if he can name him, I can name him. If Abraham can name him and Moses can name him and everybody else can name him, well, I have relationship too. I have rights too to name him. So I name him Jehovah done it again.
And you know, it's so funny that you say it that way because that's how it happened in the Bible. They all named him. Because Cars and I were talking about the story with, Sarah and the maid Hagar. And
yeah,
and after she didn't have the baby, Sarah then had the promise. Sarah said, look, yeah, this woman got to go. And you know, we all look at Hagar as the villain or the bad person, but she really was just listening to what her master and the wife had told her to do. But she found herself in this predicament where Sarah said, you gotta go. So Abraham said, ma'am, my wife said, you gotta go. So he packed her and Ishmael up and sent him on their way. And the Bible talks about how Hagar is wandering, and eventually she put Ishmael over the lake or over somewhere because she thought he was gonna die or she was gonna die, and she just wanted to separate herself from him because, like, I just don't want him to see me die like that. And she cried out, and God answered her. And God said, why are you crying? See, there's some water over here by this well. Blah, blah, blah. and then go where I can show you. And she named him the God who sees me. Who is that interrupting my revelation?
Did you hear that? Listen, you just called for Maddie, right? That's Maddie calling my phone. Let me ask
Join this
Maddie,
conversation.
you, yes, we on eavesdrop and you on the opposite side of eavesdrop. You're supposed to be on the screen, not on my phone.
Right, right.
Okay, tune in. All right. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so what I was just saying was that in that moment, after God showed her where the water was, where you could get something to drink, because she was just wandering in the wilderness in the heat. He had no water. She's very parched, very dry. He showed her the water, and then eventually he showed her where to go, and she could find civilization, and then her and Ishmael survived. But in that moment, she named him the God who sees me. And so we look at her as the villain, or there's someone who show herself off, and so she had to get sent away. But when people pray, "Oh God, I need you to see me," just as you like, hey, God, going down in this street, there's something very well because she named God, one of those names that we call him, and she called him the God who sees me, because you actually saw me.
And this sounds like a Bible crave kind of conversation, right? But I gotta add 2 things in there.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Yes, we see her as the villain, and we treat her as the villain. But she was God's favorite girl too, because when she ran away, God went to her and talked to her. God provided for her. God gave her legacy. Now we don't talk about Ishmael the way we talk about. Okay, then. Okay. But she had legacy. She had inheritance. And then the next thing, right? I gotta throw this in here. Abraham is a real dude, eh? You can't think for yourself. His wife say, go sleep with her. He say, okay. His wife say, go send her away. He say, okay.
You listen to everything she tell you do. Every single thing. But anyway, speaking of legacy, I guess that's where I'd like to take the conversation with you today. So for people who know you, everybody knows that you have 4 children. And when people speak of legacy, it really speaks about like what you're leaving in the earth, your mark that you're leaving in the earth. And a lot of times people think it's just about your job or what you were able to accomplish. And they bypass one of our greatest accomplishments as human beings, which is the children that we raise. 4 children. 5. 5 children are raising. And it just makes me feel so proud when I interact with any one of your children. I could pick anyone, blindfold me, and I could pick anyone out of a hat, or any one of those names out of a hat, and have a conversation with them. And it's like, wow, you did a really good job. Now, I know a lot of people look at me and you and think, why y'all take care of those children really well. Y'all do so nice. They always so dress up, this, that, and the next. And they think it's easy. But we know it's really, really hard. One of the hardest struggles that we've had to face is the mountain or the school fee. I feel like you face all that life, Pinky. Oh my God. I mean, no matter what you do, that school fee getting paid. That's why Maddie should have been on this call, because I feel like Maddie talking about school fee, and I can't know what happened to school fee getting paid. But first of all, let's talk about why, why is it so important for you to educate your children? Like, why not just send them to a good government school? Okay, good night. Send them to a good government school, and just believe God that they can turn out okay. Why be so intentional about paying the school fee? Why put yourself in that mountain to have to climb that mountain?
And keep on climbing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why? Because I believe that they're my biggest asset, my biggest investment. And so for any asset, you have to invest, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have to put money in before we could get a return. Like, I do real estate. So it's all about buying the property. But you have to buy the property. You have to pay for it. Go to the bank, get the money, pay for it before you could collect the rent or before you could flip it, before you could live in it and enjoy it. You have to put money in it.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, so when I had that first boy in Beantown, I grew up in Beantown. I'm a Beantown type of girl. Listen, let me tell you, look how we can guess. Just in 16 minutes, we didn't get.
Okay.
I was talking to this girl. Well, I wasn't talking. Me and her was kind of in a disagreement, but I was trying to be all, diplomatic. And she said, well, you know where I live. You know where I live. You know where my parents live. And I said, but I don't. You know where we live. I said, well, y'all still live to the same place? So she said, yes. I said, well, I taught y'all an up and out of the ghetto. Well, what I say that for? Man, you gonna see when fire and brimstone come.
Oh Lord.
She said, you telling me I lived in the ghetto? Yeah, I live in it. And she started carrying on and so I said to her, I'm sorry. Because I realized that I hit a nerve. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for saying that I thought you and your family what came out of the ghetto. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. And she was on and she was rowing. And so she really showed who really grew up in the ghetto. But I had to remind her, you see right there? I grew up in this ghetto. It's my ghetto. I grew up here, So me saying that you up and out of the ghetto and me calling you nothing bad because I come from the ghetto. Anyway, so I grew up in that ghetto. And I saw what the ghetto produced. And I knew that I wasn't producing that, and that wasn't happening to my son. I knew that he was going to go further than me. He was going to have more than me. He was going to be smarter than me. And I going to look back and I going to say, this struggle, this was worth it. And so that was one of the ways to get out the ghetto, through an education.
Right.
How did I know that it needed to be that private school and not a government school? I can only say it had to have been the Lord on my side, because I can't say that I was so smart at age 19. I knew that I had to put him in this school. I can't say that. I can only say that it had to have been God's guidance. But now that I look back with the wisdom that I have now, I see why it was necessary. It was necessary for Jesus to walk through Samaria. And so it was necessary for my children to pass the way that they are passing. They're in the place of God because of what they're picking up. So my first son went to Temple Christian. Listen to me. A ain't for apple, okay? A is for all of sin and come short of the glory of God. I building legacy here. I don't need you to teach my son. A says astronaut and apple. I don't need you to say it all has. And to this day, my children know those scriptures.
Right.
And that is the foundation that we began to build on. And what other foundation could be any stronger? Only a foundation of God. So I know it had to have been us. Holy Spirit led me to do that, but now I see that it is so necessary. And then we could, as parents, we could do a good job leaving our children a legacy in assets, right? Leave them a house, land, a business. We could do a pretty good job doing that. But David said I was young and now I'm old. I'm wise enough to know. wise enough to know that you could give it to them, but if they ain't get no education, no knowledge, and wisdom, hold on, let's add some little street smarts to that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put some ghetto in that. They ain't gonna keep it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so you see all of these rich people, they around here, they leaving stuff. And you see it rotten and rotten. Well, what happened to Mr. Harry Bar? Mr. Harry Bar just gone down like that. Why? The children, you ain't even smart enough to know that you need to go probate it so you could sell it and take the money out of it. Because, and then that's another thing, right? We can't expect our children to want to do what we do. I cannot expect that Rosa is going to say, Mommy, I'm going to carry on Lockhart Realty Bahamas, and I'm going to be the greatest realtor in the Bahamas. She may have her own dreams and her own goals. That's fine. But with some knowledge, you can have some sense to take what I gave you and make that your stepping stone to climb up this mountain. And that's when it comes from education. And then not only that too, right? The exposure. So, you know, when I grew up in the ghetto, like I say, all the houses around me were clapboard. Everybody was in a wooden house, a clapboard wooden house. The only difference between my mommy and the neighbor next door, the neighbor across the street and everything else is my mommy used to keep hers clean. So
let me tell them, and by keep it clean, and by keep it clean, we mean wash the house. Like Mother used to get a bucket with some joy and some water and wipe the house down. You know, the wooden house, you can't wipe down a stone wall, but the wooden house, she used to wipe the house.
Wipe it
keep
down.
It clean. Literally keep it clean.
Keep it clean. And so that was my normal. Listen to me. All my life, I grew up inside that house. The first time I kind of saw a stone building house was when I went to a friend's, well, no, that was in high school. So from primary school, my daddy had a stone building house. He built a 2-story house. And so I know about that house. After that, in junior school, your house was stone. Friend's house was stone. Everyone else around me had wooden house. And because my house was clean and my house was a little bigger, I thought I was living. Not until I came out of that ghetto and gone by somebody's house that I realized that, oh shoot, there's a better living aid.
Right.
And watch that bullet, that exposure. That exposure showed me that there is more than this wooden house. In fact, you living at the bottom. You at the top of where you're. Go ahead.
I was gonna say you thought you were in line with everybody.
Yes. So we were at the top of the ghetto, right? But we still was the bottom of everybody else. So you should see me. I wanna have the somebody say, what is the ghetto? Ah, Lord. Yeah, I should define that. I should really define that. So
the ghetto is where you have to go to the pump to get water and you have the outside toilet. And you don't have no electricity sometimes. Mind you, but that was in your case, so I shouldn't say that.
Remember, I tell you we was at the top of the ghetto. We was at the top of the bottom.
That was through your corner though.
Yeah. So listen, our version, my definition today of the ghetto is I grew up in Beantown. I'm from Beantown. If you pass through Beantown now, there's still clapboard houses. There's still people with outside toilets. There's still people going to the public pump to go and get water. That's still some of their situation. Ghetto is really a mentality, if you ask me. Well, it's a family member poverty, but that's my definition of ghetto for viewers, because we're international. So there are viewers that are internationally listening, and they need to know what I mean when I say ghetto. So thank you so much for that question. But back to what I was saying, I was going to school and I would invite my friends over to to my house because I was proud of where I lived because it was normal. All us lived like this. And at least my house was clean and it was a little bigger. And I had a fencing yard and we never used to walk outside barefoot. So I'm invited and I having parties to my house.
I remember.
And I'm bougie. Listen to me. When I step out, how my mommy dressed me, how my mommy sent me out, you would have never known. She come right from Phillipson Street, right to the corner there. So I bougie like that. And I think I there, but I was to the bottom, not until I got exposed. So I knew that I needed to expose my children so that they could see a wider world. Where we live now, the seeing the green at the top, we still at the bottom. But the goal in life is to keep on climbing from glory to glory to glory to glory. So it was important for them to have knowledge and education, and it was important for exposure. We have to expose our children. They cannot believe that Nassau is it. They cannot. My son, the second one, just started UB, right? And so they tell him that they have to take a foreign language, and they gave him options. He was going to talk with Spanish. I say, Span, what? No, sir. You're not taking no Spanish. You taking Mandarin because, what is the word I'm looking for? Engineering stem from China. They have the highest innovations. So you're going to be able to call these people and to talk to them and tell them, hey, what's the latest out here? And these people are going to come to you and they can say, wow, how you know about that? Why? You exposed. We ain't doing no Spanish and no French and thing. We doing, you gonna do Mandarin, you gonna do Creole, you gonna do something. I out here ready for him to do Italian, Germany. Listen to me.
He could be rowing you and you ain't gonna know what he's saying.
Usually they rowing us now and we ain't know what they say.
Right.
So listen.
They talk, they clock it. I be like,
thank you.
Going back there.
Thank you, because I was taking Gabriel and Rose's picture the first day of school, and Gabriel was upset. He was mad because me and him didn't get in a fight. He came out the car and he won't put on his cap. What? No, sir. You ain't going to school in the first day. So now me eating mine now. So I taking this picture and he pushed up his finger like this, his pinky finger. And I want to kill him because I want to know what that means. Because in all my head, only thing we could think about is, that's your middle finger.
Right.
And that ain't his middle finger. But, that's how we grew up to believe. I've been on Googling that. I didn't ask ChatGPT what that means. Nothing. It don't mean nothing.
We got to leave people. I want to send a shout out to Novato Road. You see our schoolmate? You remember Novato?
Yeah, hey Nevada was in SEM with us. We was good people.
Hi Nevada. Yeah, so I wanted to go back to a part of you talking about other families or other parents that left a legacy or was trying to leave a legacy, but when they died, their children didn't carry it on or just let the building waste or just let it go down. And I just don't see that happening with you and your children, because as I watch you, like, you're so intentional about sharing with them what you're going through, the struggle, how you going to sell property. I mean, when you got them up from school, they say, "Mommy, you selling any property today?" Like, they so invested in your success because they know this our success. Like, and back in the day, they didn't do that with us. Like children were separate from the parents. Why do you feel the need to teach them so much or walk them through what you do as an adult, even though they're children?
Because when I was growing up, right? So my mommy and my daddy had a lot of domestic issues, not domestic violence. So they were always at odds over the baby. That's me. My daddy would pick up the baby. Mommy saying, "Oh, well, call me before you come." He don't want to call. All kind of craziness. And so there was always some tension going on between them too. And I used to ask him, "Daddy, what this mean? What that mean? And he always said, when you get old enough, I will explain. Well, he died and I never got old enough. I never got an explanation. And listen though, because I never got an explanation from him, I was left to make my own assumptions, come to my own conclusions. And without all of the information, sometimes those assumptions are incorrect. I remember someone telling me as a child, when you assume, the word is you make an ASS out of you and me. So I remember as a child, I had plenty sense. Y'all thought I ain't had no sense? I had plenty sense. I understood what was going on. I knew what to say, what not to say. I knew who to say this to and who not to say that to. I knew, or she act like that. Well, that means so and so and so and so and so and so. So I know that children are not stupid. Children are very smart. And so we owe them the information so that they can make good decisions.
And if you don't tell them, somebody else can tell them, and they may tell them the wrong thing. So take your time and explain to them one time.
Exactly. And not only that, so in my learning, in my growing, in my evolving, I watch the theory is, and the philosophy is, what you want to become, that's what you should study, right? And so I study wealthy people because I am wealthy and I'm going to walk in this wealth. And a lot of times we get mad and we hate on the wealthy people. Like we say things like, but how much they want? But they don't need no more of that. They don't need. Okay. We hate on them, right? But most of the time we just need to do what they do to get. Okay. There was a man, he died. There was a man who had a lot of property. And the theory was he stole this property. He thieved this property. Well, it's not called stealing when you do something legally. So he quieted the land and then he sold it. Well, did you know that the same right he has as a Bahamian citizen, we have as a Bahamian citizen? So instead of hating, we should learn what they do and then play the game. So what we should be doing as parents is, who do you want to become? I'm a wealthy mom. I'm wealthy, right? So I study the wealthy people, and what they do is the difference between the wealthy children and the not wealthy children or parents or families is education. Those wealthy parents, they take their children in the bank with them. They have conversations about the finances, about the business with them. It's engrafted in them from they were young. So they grow up and this is normal. With us, we're not putting our children in those environments because you're a child, I'm the adult, I'll figure it out. I just say no. Yeah. I just say no. Or the answer is no, I just don't have it. And because we do that, they are not learning. If they are not learning, they have a decision to make when they get older. One, either they're going to get knowledge and come out of that box that they're in, or two, they stay right there. My 4 children, they stay in there. So I have to do things different if I want a different result. So every Tuesday night, we have family business meetings. We're talking about stocks. We're talking about buying land. We're talking about loans. We're talking about collateral. We're talking about these things that could become a way of their life. So last night, my 3rd son, Mommy, I need to use your phone. I brought some caps from away. I need to sell these. I'm selling them for $45. I said, Gabriel, you don't think that's too much? No. You know what these caps are? I'm selling. And he took his pictures. He made his flyer and he put it on my status. Hold on. He went and he put it on Facebook Messenger on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace. You know, somebody in my inbox now asking me if the hat's still available. No.
Oh, wow.
So if I wanted a different result, I don't want my children to grow up in poverty. I don't want them to grow up lacking. I don't want them to grow up in ignorance. That's another thing. We have to kill that spirit of ignorance over us. Like, we fighting and carrying on because everybody just so ignorant. Like, get the knowledge. Stop talking, beating up your mouth with things you don't know. You don't know. Get the knowledge and then do what the wealthy do so that you can get what the wealthy get. So I am intentional about telling them when things are difficult and I can't come up with the school fee, I explain to them this is what's happening. I didn't pay your school fee yet, and I need you to pray with me that mommy can get some sales, daddy can sell some bottles, so we can come up with this money to pay this. And sure enough, they sure do pray, and God, I tell you, Jehovah done it again. He just keep on coming through for us.
And I think it's important too to teach your children faith, because everyone can have faith at whatever level they're at. I can remember when Paris was transitioning from Temple Christian to Windsor. I told her, this is Temple Christian, this Windsor school fee. We already put in for the scholarship. If you don't get the scholarship, you go to St. Anne's or St. Augustine.
So you have to say it again because I ain't even hear you. So I know these people ain't hear you.
I say, if you don't get the scholarship, that means you go into St. Anne's or St. Augustine, because I cannot afford it. But it wasn't oh, that's where you want to go? Let's tour the school. I like the school. Okay. You go in there. No, let me help you understand how this happened. This is what we applied for. So when you get there, you don't do no foolishness, because we know what all it took for us to even get there. And so I am in agreement with you in just explaining the process for them to have an appreciation that it ain't just fall out the sky. It ain't just a money tree. It ain't daddy going to work and he bring home the money and so this what we get. Like we have to put money in this pot. We have to work to get some money to put in this pot, so when it's time to pay bills, to go away, to buy food, we could take it in the pot to come out the pot.
Can I add to that? So that worked for your daughter, right? That worked for your daughter, and you tell her, don't waste your mommy money because you know where it's come from. But sometimes that don't work, because sometimes these children, like you tell them that and they come right through their ears, come right out this one.
Listen to me, okay? You know what? That was one of my next questions for you. Did you ever feel like maybe this ain't it, or you felt like a bit regretful, or like, oh yeah, I know. Like, were you ever doubtful in your decision to give them such a higher level of education at such a young age? Because a lot of people only think you should pay for like an expensive school and high school, college, but primary school and all that, like, just let them go to the government school. Like, did you ever feel like, I think I get it wrong, or you always knew you were on the right track?
Let me go finish that thought before we go back there, right? So I was saying it feels like it come out this air. My Bible say, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. A lot of times we pray for stuff, right? And it don't look like it happening. It don't look like it working. It just don't look like what you asked for. But our responsibility as believers is to just believe God that whatever you ask for, it don't have to look like that. It is that. So yes, the answer to that question is yes. Sometimes I feel like, wait, I'm working so hard and you only ain't doing and yes, there are some times when I feel like I want to give up. Like man, let me just take them out of the school, man. Let me homeschool them, man. Man, shoots, man. I just want to give up. Yeah, because I is a human being, and when you pinch me, it is hurt. And I say, just like you, like just like the listeners, like just like everyone else that feels the hard pinch sometimes. Yeah, I feel that too. I feel that too. But that thing named Holy Spirit inside you, He let you slunk for a little while. You could sulk, you could cry, you could pout, you could do all of that. But then he's rise up in you. And that's why the Bible tells us, we must pray in the spirit to build up ourselves. That is build us up. But so after I done finish praying and I get build up, you're back in the game again, man. Because I believe that Bible say, if I train up this child, he will not depart from it. So don't look like you getting it. Look, why you get 7 out of 10 on a spelling test, but you had these spelling words for whole 7 days. It's no reason why you can't learn 10 words. It is only because you just didn't want to. So it feels sometimes like you ain't getting it. But I believe if I keep on training it, if I keep on planting it, if I keep on adding the soil and I keep on watering and I keep on making sure the sun could shine on it, that tree is going to grow and I'm going to have some fruit. That's my story, and I stick into that. And I don't care how it look. I don't care what they say. I don't care how much sense it make to anybody else. That's what my Bible tells me.
And there's fruit all around you, because we all have received and partaken of their first fruit with man. Because you could easily call him to do this eavesdrop with you, and he would have taken us all what's in the Bible ready on the side. He the signs up to be praying while they read. He would have get any scripture and break that right down for the simple man, even some of us who misinterpreted it the wrong way. He would have given that to us straight and clean, and how Holy Spirit, is it exegete or eisegete? Whichever one of them words it is. How Holy Spirit gave it to him. And so I think it's so important for us to still stop and realize that we are bearing fruit. It ain't a big fruit yet, where he is this big producer, or he made his first movie, or he got married and have these children, and Rosa did what she was supposed to do. And it may not be that big fruit yet, but the low-hanging fruit, they all right there, all around us. Even Gabriel. Let's talk about human beings. It's so important that you do the right thing around your children, because they're like sponges. They pick up everything. Now tell me where he get that entrepreneurial spirit from. I can tell you all the secret Facebook people in that house where they live is about 50 different business. I ain't even lying. Especially during COVID. But 20 come right out of COVID. They were selling snow corn, they were selling chicken and dumplings, they were selling jewelry. You name it, they did it. And so it's not by happenstance that Gabriel look in the store and he say, "Oh, let me buy this house," but not to wear, to sell. That had to come from somewhere. So that was some kind of seed that you and Ozzy planted, even, let's say, unintentionally.
Yeah.
And that reaped that harvest now. And so, you just have to watch what you do, watch what you say, because they will mimic it. That's just like a little girl putting on a mommy big sweater and high heel shoes and falling down inside the house, because that's what you see your mommy do. And so that's what you do. We have to be very intentional about what we do because they're watching us.
Yeah. And to add to that, Stacy, you're talking about the fruit of a mare, right? So I would call a mare the easy child. Like, that's the good one. Like, that one was easy to raise and he turned out so beautifully. And we get distracted as parents thinking that, okay, that gonna happen again, or it's supposed to look like that again. And if it don't look like that, I doing something wrong or something wrong with this child. We have to be conscious enough to see the different types of fruit. So the apple tree gives the apple, the mango gives the mango. Hold on, there are different types of apple. So there's an apple, there's a sugar apple, there's a star apple, there's custard apple. Like, they're all fruits. But they look different. So with Gabriel, so like I said, a mare's the easy one. Gabriel is the hard one for me. That's the one. Listen, I pray for him. His mommy praying for him. He is keep me on my knees. He looking at me like, but why you have to say that? Yes, I have to pray for Gabriel.
And he's the sweetest boy.
The
He is
sweetest boy.
sweetest boy.
Sweetest
Oh my God, that's Annie boy.
And so smart, right? The sweetest boy and so smart. And but this one, you think he ain't paying attention? When the church the called to prayer meeting to pray for the children, he'd have just come off the plane and he said, I ready. Let's go. Like, why you gonna take it so I don't want to be late? Now that's the one named Gabriel. He named the angel, right? I used to say this angel is be off duty all the time. I just stopped saying that the other day when you tell me we are not going to say Gabriel is off duty. He is always on duty.
Right.
Gabriel on duty. So it doesn't look the same way it did with a male, but don't stop doing what you're doing because it ain't look like it happening, but it's sinking right in. The sponge soaking it up. It's soaking it up. You call Gabriel and I tell him pray. He could pray. He could pray. So all of your children are not going to be where you want them to be. Don't put them out, though. Don't put them out. Especially mothers. So Maddie, let's bring up Maddie. Maddie taught me this. All of us know the story. So remember the prophet. The prophet Elijah went to the Sarah Phoenician woman. I think it's her. And he asked her what you want. And she said, man, don't play with me. I want a son. And she got peace. Say, this time next year, you should have your son, right? But she had the son. Now he left and left her with her son. She have a son. She happy. The son died. He didn't say how the son died. The son died. And the son was with his father. And the son died. I think I need to read it. I think it said that his head started to hurt and then he died. The father of the child said, take him to his mother. What that means is, mommy, you get all power in you to give these children what you need. Because how that story ends is that little boy was alive. She took that boy. She didn't go back to the husband and say, hey, I going down to look for the prophet and nothing. She took that boy. She jumped inside her carriage and she say, slacken not your ride. She told her driver, drive. And he drove straight to the prophet. When the assistant stopped her on the way, he said, what can I help you with? She said, it is well. I ain't come to you. I ain't come to the deputy, sir. I looking for the prophet. And she went to the prophet and tell the prophet, this the boy you give me. The boy what you pray for me. When it was all said and done, that mommy, listen, we don't know where daddy is, Daddy might have still stayed to work. He might have still been in the field plowing is gone.
Right.
But mommy did what she had to do for that baby. So mummies, all the mummies, you have what you need inside you. Thank God for daddies. We're not talking about bad daddies. We're not talking about that. But mommy, you can't give up, boy. But you can't give up. Like, they depending on you. Like, everything they need right in you. That's why God put them in you, and there was the umbilical cord, and they got the oxygen through the umbilical cord. They got the blood through the umbilical cord. They got the food through the umbilical cord, and then you were able to push them through your womb, and then you gave birth, and then they cut the umbilical cord, and then you put them on your breast. Everything right in you.
Yeah. Wow. That's powerful. Do not slacken your ride. Do you? If you could have done it over again, is there anything that you would have done differently? And not just regarding your education, but raising your children on board.
Yeah, there's a lot that I would do different.
What is your number one that you feel like sharing?
Let's see. I never thought about that, What would I do different? I would My temperament would be different. When I get frustrated, I shout. And I swear they only understand shout. like that's their language. That's their love language. But I don't want them to grow up communicating like that. So constantly I work on me because they can be what they see me be. I would have liked to be. So I spent a lot of years in the bank, and that in itself was fruitful. But I think if I had left earlier and started my now career sooner, or did something else, tapped into my entrepreneurial spirit at that time, I would have been in a better financial position to do more for them, for them to travel more, to expose them more, to spend more time with them. What else? What would I do different? I would have started teaching earlier. So I got the wisdom to start teaching with the last two. When I say teaching, I mean having those business meetings, having those conversations about finances, explaining to them life issues. Like we have conversations about people's behavior, what to expect from people, how to react in different circumstances, how to keep your head up. Like we talk about life's issues. I didn't do that with the first two. So I would have started a lot earlier, started from a man. Yeah, I wish I had started from a male. Mind you, it worked out pretty good. It worked out pretty good. Yeah, but I would have liked to start from a male. I think those are the things I could think about right now that comes to mind. Maybe I need to sit down and write out the answer to that question. What would I do different? Because those things. But yeah, but those things that if I could write down, maybe those are things that I could stop. Yeah.
So, at the beginning of our conversation, you talked about how you're naming God. God done it again. Or Jehovah done it again. When we leave, as we are leaving now, share with us any one of your God done it again faith stories regarding you and your children.
I have a good. Well, we're gonna need another show for that. But
that's right, again.
I walked through the valley of the shadow of death with my children, with the three of them that I gave birth to, that came out of my body. I walked through the valley.
It was 5 children. So explain to people who the 3 is out of 5.
So Amir, Gabriel, and Rosa, we walked through the valley of the shadow of death in 2022.
Do you want to acknowledge your other children?
And so let me tell you about my.
It's
another set of twins. It's twins. Karis and OJ. They're the twins. As Pebbles and Bam Bam.
Right. So this story is about Amir, Gabriel, and
OJ. Well, this ain't really the story. I just given you a preview. You could use this for the next interview.
Okay.
But we walked through the valley of the shadow of death together in 2022, and we came out victorious. And when I say victorious, moms, I need to tell moms who out there and your children are sick and they give your children a death notice. Listen, you fold that death notice up and you give that right back to the devil, because your children don't have to die. I had a thought the other day, right? And I wondered, right? You see all the murders, all the shootings, these young men that are being shot, and the parents coming on the mothers are coming on the news and they're crying and they're hurt, right? I wonder if any one of them are prayer warriors for their children. Any one of them cover their children daily I ain't talking about you saying you was a prayer warrior. Oh, and I just pray, but I just cover my child, but you still living the way you living. I'm talking about you have a covenant with God that He will keep with you to keep your children.
Right.
I wonder, is there any? Because I think the missing factor, what you all missing, mommy, that you crying, baby, you get some power in you. You hold on to the altar, and you present your children before God, and they could shoot the bullet. You know, they could shoot. It can't prosper. Anyway, that's for another day.
I think that needs to be another conversation, because to hear you say that your children don't have to die, like for somebody whose child has died, is like, well, like help me understand that. Like are you speaking the truth? Like he didn't have to die, or for a mother who is going through something now, you mean to tell me I could actually turn this thing?
So let me tell you, I'm gonna say this without apology. Your child don't have to die. If we look through the Bible, I want you to know, you can't give me an example. You cannot give me an example of a child that was sick, a human that was sick, that Jesus was taken to Jesus and they died. And then he said, okay, it was the Lord's will that he died. The Lord take it, and the Lord give it, and the Lord take it away. Jesus ain't let nobody die. Ain't nobody die on Jesus' watch. Nobody. So my children wasn't dying. Your children don't have to die. Now, I'm not God, and God is sovereign, and He does as He wish, and He reigns on the just and the unjust. And so, mommy, if you are a prayer warrior and your child still died, I don't have the answer for you, my love. I really don't. But I could tell you one thing: my journey and I. So,
why did you think they were gonna die though? Like could you share just a little bit of the story?
Okay, so they were diagnosed with sickle cell disease, and I don't even have an explanation for you because my children don't be sick. But we were under a severe attack where their blood level, they got sick and their blood levels dropped, like completely dropped. So Gabriel was at a 1, Rosa was at a 3. Gabriel asked me the other day, Mommy, how did you know to take us to the hospital? It only could have been the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit said, take them to the hospital. I didn't want to, because you have to go to Princess Margaret, and I don't want to go to Princess Margaret. But I heard that voice say, just take them to the hospital. Just take them, Inky. Just take them. And when we got there, they explained to me, had I allowed them to stay home and wait till tomorrow, Gabriel would go to sleep and he would die in his sleep. And Rosa would have died a couple hours later. That's how severe this was. Long story short, after they came out of the hospital, well, I thought the battle was won and it was over. Well, Amir went into the hospital, and Amir was gravely ill. Amir was on every hook and everything you could find in the hospital. They had to that one child. And when I came to the hospital, the doctors, they took me in this little room, and they started to explain that everything that they tried to do, it's working in reverse. There's nothing else that they could do. And they started to hug me, like I consoling you. And thank God for prayer warriors, because I can remember coming off the plane. When I came off the plane, my phone rang. That was Tramika. Tramika said, you go into the hospital. When you go there, you fix your face like flint. I don't care what they tell you. You agree with only what God says. You don't come into agreement with what no one else says. You only come into agreement. And I remember that postured me. And so when the doctor started to tell me that, my attitude was, okay, so what do you need? But we don't know what's wrong with him. Okay, so you need a diagnosis? Okay, you'll have that tonight. Because I knew I just need to go. Just let me go home. Let me go home. Let me get on my knees. And I promise you was going to have what you need. So anyway, that's the gist of it. I need to share. I should be sharing with some mummies that, it can come. It can come. Time can come. But you were asking for a faith story. Let me give you a faith story.
Okay.
So in 2023, 2023, I had connected with an old teacher that taught me in high school. And she told me that the children who are in the government system, they have a lot more opportunities because, people are willing to give to the less fortunate children. So, they get opportunities to go to school, get scholarships, all that. So she said, you should put your children in the government school, good government school, Oaksfield, the great Oaksfield, eh?
We was trying so hard. We trying so hard, though. What is it? You see that? No, but you see that, though. Anyway, that's an offline type of conversation. We was trying so hard.
So I bought into that because it was difficult to keep them in a private school. And they was already on scholarship in the private school. And so I bought into, boy, if I put them in this government school, they could get more. They're in private primary school now. When they get to high school, it'll be a lot more scholarships and, they'll get these opportunities and they get to do these other extracurricular activities and stuff. Okay, so that was my philosophy. That's what I let one voice tell me. And I bought that. So I went to go and put such thing as a bad government school. That's the wrong thing. You see that?
Your man is about to be on this call, mind you. We are viewers. Anyway,
so I went and I applied, followed all the protocol, and someone gave me a number of this person that was supposed to be able to help me. This high-ranking official that's supposed to be able to help me. So I put in the application. They responded and they said, well, they have been assigned. They're accepted into the government system, okay, but they have been assigned to this school over here. And so, that wasn't the plan. I had a plan. Because now, listen, I go into the government school, but remember, I still am intentional about my children. If I was to put them in a government school, I'm still putting them in the best government school. What I consider to be a very good...
Your preference. Because honestly, it's preference. We're not judging here, but we're just saying what our desire was, what our preference was. That's all.
So that's what I preferred. So I went and I called and they say, oh, well, there is no space in that school. So I figured if I go to this high person, they can help me. Went there. Oh, tried to call. They can't take the call. Drove there because I'm intentional about my children. Drove there. They didn't really want to see me. They kept on asking about what it's about. I don't believe. Don't practice this at home. But if I on a mission, buddy, I ain't talking to the side person. I need to get to the source. So I didn't want to tell the side person because those people discourage you because they have assignments to do and their assignment is to protect the person to the top. So they don't want you to get there. And that's rightfully so. That's what they're paid to do.
They're doing their job.
So I didn't want to tell the person what I want to talk about. I there's something personal. Can I please see? Okay. Well, this person allowed me to see them. They were sitting with another lady, talking with another lady. Didn't ask the lady to leave. Allowed me to come to the door. And I stood and I'm there with my nice, beautiful smile and my warm self because now I need your help. And I said, hi, I'm so-and-so. And someone gave me your name. And she said that you could possibly help me. My children, they live here. And I applied for them to go to this school, but they were assigned to this school. And I didn't want to say, well, I just want them to go to this school. I said, it's inconvenient for me to have them go to this school because we live a little further from that school, but we live right next door to this school. So that lady who isn't educated, well, I hope she educated, government
Official.
staff, worker, whatever, told me with all I made with an attitude that that school is closer than this school. So I know that you're probably just trying to find an excuse. And so let me help you to see that no, ma'am, you know, this corner is right behind the school. Where that school is a lot. No, it's closer. And she stuck to it's closer, and she gave me the worst attitude. And I guess she put on a show for her friend who was sitting in the front of her. Mind you, the friend had mercy on me because the friend looked at me like, okay, it's okay. Like she felt kind of sorry that this woman acted this way. And so Mina had words where I was very humble to her, kind of like begging your mercy because I need this to work in order for my children to get where I need them to get. I didn't have a plan B. This was plan A. And if I had put them back where they were, that was money that I didn't have at the time. Okay. All right then. So she told me no. And when I said she told me no, she was rude. She wasn't pleasant at all. It was condescending. That's the word.
Because you told your sister the story of it.
Oh. Yeah, she was
very condescending.
Yeah, she talked to me bad. And I was still nice to her because I knew that I needed to be pleasant and nice because my display was a reflection of what my children were. So I couldn't go there rowing because then you just saying you want my children. Okay. Well, I walked up there and my tail between my leg and I was hurt. I was hurt because she talked to me bad. And on top of her talking to me bad, I didn't get what I wanted. And on top of that, I didn't know what was going to happen next. All right, then. That door closed, eh? Door closed. I don't even remember. I think it's you what he would tell me. Go apply the Windsor. If I just tell you I was down here, I'm trying to get here, how you could send me all the way up there? So guess what the just shall live by faith. I call Windsor. I call the people anyway. See, I shouldn't be talking this.
No, not all. Keep some. Go share.
Yeah. Anyway, how the story ends is my children go to a very, very good school. And I am so grateful that that woman was mean to me. If I see her right now.
She needed to reject you.
Yes. So that you could go in the right position. Because that wasn't your position anyway. You wasn't supposed to be there. How you even get here? Why you let them voices in your head tell you that foolishness?
And mind you, not to say government schools are bad. Because you and I and Navarro came out of the government school. So that's not what we're saying. We're just saying when you have a desire for something and it truly is God-led and you live a Christian life, then you can have that thing that you are desiring. You can want to have better for your children. And even though you're not sure you could get it, you will be just by living by faith and you will get it. You will have what you desire. So we're not really like, I don't want anybody to feel like we smearing our mouth or turning down at the government school because we went to the government school and we were respectful and we were clean and we were decent. We was in ghetto. I mean, Nevada was on basketball team before I remember. Did he go to Detroit with us? We even went away. We were exchange students, but like we're really not downplaying the government school. It's just that every good parent would want better for their children. And I think we could sum it up this way by saying we just wanted to give our children our best. And for us, the best was this school, even though at the time, this where we was reaching. God had so much more for us.
Yeah. Yeah, and can I finish that sentence as you were speaking? He's still God, right? He's still God. Regardless what school they go to, he is still God. So I don't want you to feel like, oh well, if you don't do it this way, you're not doing enough. Mind you, that might be the road that might be your Samaria. That might be the road you're supposed to take. And ain't nothing wrong with it. He's still God. And back to my children being in her death store, and me saying that, your children don't have to die. If they die, he is still God. And if my children had died, he was still God. He's still God. He is still God.
He's still on the throne.
So, I mean, I don't want anybody to be discouraged by this message or this conversation. We ain't trying to throw nothing under the bus. We ain't trying to make it look like, oh, we so this and we so. He's still, wherever you are, he is still God. I had this boss, Miss Rigby. Oh, not Rigby. Jacqueline Rigby. No, Reckley. Miss Reckley.
Okay.
Jacqueline Reckley. Let me tell you what Miss Reckley used to do. She was the branch manager of the bank. She used to watch the news for the children that came up on the news. Like if you were recognized that you were in the spelling bee or you was in the math thing or you said a speech, she used to watch out for those children. And she used to write their names down, and wherever she used to see them in life or come across them, she used to give them money or some help or something to encourage them.
Wow. That's awesome.
Exactly. And so a lot of those children, though, were in government schools. A lot of them. So their blessings was right there. Listen to me. Hold on. Let's not even talk about education, right? For a minute. Sometimes you go to school for relationships. Because I believe that I went to my high school for some relationships.
Talk about it.
Listen to me. Listen. So, anyway, it's 1:13. That can cause a fire.
This is your show. So I'm letting you go on for as long as you want to go on, honey. This is your show.
No, that can cause a fire. But there are some places that you're in to meet people, to be connected. You have destiny helpers. Let me tell you, your destiny helpers are destiny connectors, people that connect you to the people that you need to be connected to. Like, let's think about the girl, Jahazarus. No, wrong name. Anyway, there was a servant girl, and her master had leprosy. And she told her master, come, let me take you to Elijah. He could heal you. She didn't know healing, but she didn't know a man. Okay. Then you have the burden bearers. There's some people who are going to help carry a heavy weight. Like, I going through something and I need someone to talk to. And not just talk to. Sometimes it could be talking. It could be someone who could actually help you. Like I have some sisters, right? I have a sister. I will call her and row whoever I need to row. Just to get it off my chest. Row. And that ain't fair. And this ain't fair. And that ain't fair. Then I have another sister. I call her and she said, oh, that's what you need? Okay. I can call Jim right now. Jim right down the road there. He can just so and so and so and so and so and so. There are some people called burden bearers that you just need to help carry a heavy load. They're so heavy. I so stressed. I just going through so much. I just need to cry. Take me on the beach and say, he ain't cool. He ain't cool. You know anybody like that?
Lord. But it's, I mean, like when you look at it in retrospect, like that's really what it is. Like, thank God for the school, which was not just a place for education, but a meeting ground for something so great, for relationships so great to be birthed. Because I mean, for me, well, predominantly me and you, but even Tamika, like when I talk to her, like it has been like, you don't know you all your life. Like, how you think I wouldn't know that? You didn't have to say that to me for me to know that. Like, you know, like you is me, guys, you. Like it's almost, it's not even a separation. It's like a little bit. It gets on my nerves because I can't even tell you you look pretty because you think I just telling you it because I want to tell you it, right? So like think of me as a separate person, not you. Me and you in the same person right now. I am a separate person and telling you you were doing a good job. Not, oh, you just telling me that you don't do that. Yeah, but I mean, thank God for the great CCC.
CCC and Cobras.
Every time I tell people that's where I come from, they say, oh, you mean the big dollhouse?
The big dollhouse.
And then sometimes people say, oh, you say QC? And I say, mm-hmm. You say, God forgive me. Because I'm tired of you labeling me or making it look like it was such a bad thing when it really wasn't. The Prime Minister's wife was our principal.
That's right.
The Prime Minister used to come down assembly.
Listen to me. You're going to hell if you don't come go with me. Let's go look for Miss Ingram.
Inky, how you could say something like that? You run the team.
We have to. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So back to what I was saying, right?
You know, I'm not going to hell. I go into heaven in Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name, to us. So, I was going to say, you know, when they tell me I was going to CC, when you graduate from primary school, they tell you what high school you're going to do. When they tell me that, boy, I cried, boy, because they said that's the big dollhouse.
And it was between CC and C.R. Walker. And C.R. Walker, Nishka, to answer your question, back in the day, C.R. Walker was the better school. That was the good government school.
That was the good government school.
Like that was CC was like in the, not the ghetto, Oakfield, being down. Like, you know, like that's just the stigma it had. People in government schools.
Nishka, that one was a bad government school.
Inky, we gotta go. It's getting dark. I gotta go.
Yeah, this was good. This is so fun. And you telling me, but what we could talk about, you all don't stop talking.
No. Y'all always got something to talk.
Yeah,
we coming back, y'all, and she's gonna tell y'all the whole truth and nothing but the truth regarding 3 out of 5 when we were at death's door.
You all pray for me, yeah? Pray for me. I know I'm ready.
Powerful. It's taken a minute to even get out of her. But it's truly a manifestation of what God will do for you when you really trust Him, when you're back against the wall. Like, you know that scripture that says, you will pass through the waters. You will walk through the fire and it will not burn you. You will pass through the waters and it will not overflow you. Like, people say that so randomly. But when you pass through a fire, literally, but it ain't burning you, but you're scared because there's fire. And I could feel the heat and I could see it. Like that's like going on a ride to like Universal Studios and, you know, they take you through the whole Jurassic Park, like they remake the movie and like you feel like you literally feel heat. Like I feel like I could get burned with. Like you are scared. But that scripture says you don't even smell like smoke. When you think of when you're walking through a water and you're trying to get to the next side. And you walking, and as you walk, you going deeper. Tell it to your waist, till it to your neck, till it's like, and you tippy toe in. And you really think this river go overflowing. And then you start walking again, and the water go down and down and down. If that's that story there, that's that scripture. That story right there. And so to take a minute, ladies and gentlemen, for her to pack it in a nice little box to present it to you. But it is our duty to do that. Because you know that people children don't want to die. And you have to share. You are obligated to share. That's what we're here for. We ain't just here talking. We really here to empower God's people, God's favorite girl and God's favorite guy. That's what we do. So, thank you now. I'm going to turn it back over to you because I don't remember the whole outro. So you do the outro and then we go. Let them all have a good evening.
Listen, this has been amazing. And I want to say thank you, Stacy. And
thank you, Stacy. That feels so weird. Oh my God.
Tell them what your name is then. Tell them what your name is.
You got even the Chinese people calling me Rella. Yeah, my name is Rella, okay? Not Stacy.
Listen.
Stacy Rella.
We need some more time on the clock so I can tell you how she get done.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, I love you all. So thank you so much for tapping into Faith Talks on Eavesdrop. Our prayer is that you, as you eavesdrop on these faith-filled conversations, your own faith is strengthened and your walk becomes bolder. If something that we said today blessed you, please share this episode and help someone else to build their faith too. Once again, subscribe. Stay connected to us. GFG Evolution, God's favorite girl, God's favorite guy. And join us next week. Join us next. Let me say next. Join us next for another powerful story of faith in real life. Until then, guys, walk boldly, talk faithfully, and keep your ear open to heaven. Bye.
You've been eavesdropping on Eavesdrop, and we appreciate it. You've been listening to unscripted, candid conversations, and we truly hoped it's helped to change your life. We never force our beliefs on anyone. We're here to foster connections and spark evolution, and we hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. And we'll be back soon. But in the meantime, find us on social media at God's Favorite Girl, on Instagram and Facebook at GFG Evolution, and the website at godsfavoritegirl.org. See you next time on Eavesdrop.